I'm going to start by saying something my dad has instilled in me for years. 500 plus years ago, people came overseas to do one thing, to take the resources out of these lands and ship them back overseas. 500 plus years later, they're still doing the same thing, continuing a genocide and erasure of indigenous peoples across the Americas. They have continued to erase and kill our people on the resources of the lands that was given to us by our Creator. We came out of creation from Mother Earth. And we were placed here for a reason, to protect her and our identity of our people, to live in peace with Mother Earth. We are not above creation. We are not below creation. We are a part of creation. And as Indigenous people, we've lived with those understandings for thousands of years. And we continue to let that fight about that we are just a part of creation. We're not better than it. We're not above it. We're just a part, that small part of creation that we need to have and live with clean water, clean air, pristine land, and the survival of our future generations to come. When we look back and we talk about free and prior informed consent, that is just a due diligence that these companies like the fossil fuel industry and Citibank, it's just a check box so they can continue to destroy and reap the benefits of the land for the profit in their pocketbooks. But who are they actually talking to? A lot of them say they send out these letters, but they don't actually talk to us directly. They don't come to our homelands. They don't come to our reservations. They don't come to the people that the land is originally theirs. They don't come to us. They send letters and they send out to other people. And if there's nobody says anything or sends a letter back, or if they don't respond back, that's what they consider a consultation. But they never speak to us. They never come to us. And there's a difference. Like in Texas, there is a long history of my people as a presence going back thousands of years. But we're not a federally recognized tribe, and Texas doesn't recognize Indigenous people. They give proclamations, but that doesn't mean that they recognize them because they don't have any state land. They don't have anything to do with the state. It's just a proclamation to say they're the state's Indian. There are federally recognized tribes, but they came there by forced displacement. But the original peoples in the Texas history books, my peoples, they can trace thousands of years throughout Texas, they never consent to us. But we are the history. We are the autochthonous people of the land. We come from the land. We're born from that land, but nobody ever consents of us. So for us, we took matters into our own hand, and we've come a long way to our fight to stand up as a non-federally recognized tribe, and we've been able to turn that against them. We've been able to stand up and fight and say, oh, here we are. Here's all the history that you decided to fail yourself on your so-called due diligence. Here is how we're going to fight you. Here's all the history, historical facts. This is our area of land, and we continue to use that to fight. Yes, as a non-federally recognized tribe, we do have talks with CBP, Homeland Security, every 30 days about what is happening at the border. The border wall issue We stopped under Trump's administration 16 miles of border wall because it was being built on historical lands of my people. We went and fought them and told them that our people, those were our village sites. And what they do, they listen. And now when they do any construction on border wall, it has to go and they have to consult with us. So we do have federal entities that we work with that have to consult with us without being a federally recognized tribe. But there are other entities like oil and gas and Citibank and Chubb we've called them out and told them, you have to do a due diligence and a true due diligence. Stop sending out papers to people who don't have physical authenticity to the lands of that areas of South Texas and the Permian Basin. The historical significance is there. We are done. We're done for you not telling us. There is so many issues that are happening in the Gulf Coast with my relatives that were up here earlier, Miss Sharon, Rochetta, the people from Corpus Christi. We're in South Texas are trying to stop what it looks like in their neighborhood. We have the last part of the untouched Gulf Coast. Everybody knows where South Padre Island is, right? It's being threatened by Elon Musk and SpaceX, by Boca Chica. We are now suing the Texas Park and Wildlife for their the land grab that SpaceX has given to asking Texas Parks and Wildlife to give up Boca Chica Beach. Boca Chica Beach is the poor man's beach. It is the beach for the people who don't have money to go to South Padre Island, to the public beach. It's a free beach. You can just drive up and spend. People have gone there for years. It's also at the mouth of the Rio Grande River. That's a sacred site for us. Those lomas where the LNG terminals are being built, those are our sacred village sites. Those were fishing villages for thousands of years, built on these wetlands. And they're being threatened. And we're continuing to hold down who we are, but calling them out on their ignorance, not doing their so-called due diligence by standing up and fighting. Because we have to fight. We're tired of genocide. We're tired of tribal erasure. We are tired of not being recognized because we have historical significance. Our relatives we don't live in colonial borders. Indigenous people have never lived in colonial borders because my relatives come on both sides of that river. All the way up north to Canada, all the way down to South America. Those are all my relatives. For thousands of years, we've roamed these lands, and our bloodlines have continued to roam these lands. And we will stand up and fight together because there might be few here, but we are many. So my thing is for Citibank, you promote yourself about being for the people, defund the fossil fuel industry, and invest in the people. Fund the people who are in trouble, who are people in the sacrifice zones, for the indigenous folks fighting to maintain their future generations. We are the people that you should be talking to.